Chip Grooners, welcome, yay! Feeling hot? Oh, no, it's not hot. It's absolutely positively cold here in England. And yes, but I just thought I'd get things up into a nice lively spring up startup. I just wanted to do a quick vlog in a sort of response to as I say, there's various vloggers out there who are posting all sorts of stuff out there, and I think we need to remember, guys, that those of us who put things out on YouTubes and vlogs, that we're not professional presenters. We just put things out there how we see, feel, and it's often our opinions. And as I say, in terms of what I'm going to talk about is some of the marathon myths and tips that are out there. And I think one YouTuber put some things out, and I think while some of his points were very valid, I think maybe how they were presented and put across weren't of the best. But I'm not going to say I'm going to do a better job. But I think the words scam was used and all sorts of things. But there are a lot of things going out there. We are now well and truly into marathon training season. So there is a lot of how can you put it? BS out there from various people. You know, the blogs, bligs, whatever. There's a lot out there, yeah? And I'm here to talk to you. This is my little warning caveat is I'm not a qualified trainer. This is my disclaimer to you. I'm not a qualified trainer, nutritionist or anything like that. I'm just an old geezer who decided to get up and start running. So in terms of the background about myself, I started running at the tender age of 54. Yeah, that's right. Not long ago. I'm now 56, coming up to 57 in a few months' time. But I took up running at 54. And for me, in terms of, we hear lots of things about training plans and this and that. So there is a lot of good training plans out there, a lot of free training plans out there on the interwebs. You can download it. Obviously, people do recommend, so I'll go through what training plan I had. But there is a lot of myth and things people talk about, and tell me more about it. If for those who are more qualified runners or whatever and really know their stuff, you might be professionals in the field. What's the talk about negative splits? Yeah, I did read somewhere that they said, you know, the professionals negative split. That they're professionals. Okay, I'm a beginner. What's negative splits got to do for me, you know, as a beginner? Yeah, so a lot I'm going to talk about is as a beginner. And I think this vlogger was talking about training plans for beginners, not those who are advanced. So if you're looking to run a sub 2.5 hour marathon, probably none of this applies to you. So this is more directed at beginners, yeah, like I was only a couple of years ago. So I was new to running. So negative splits, what's it all about? Recovery runs. Running every day? I don't do that, you know. Nutrition, changing nutrition. Yeah, I mean, you can have a debate. It really does depend what you're eating right now. But for me, I was eating pizza, pasta, and bread and all sorts and dairy products. And I carried on eating it. I still do that. That's me. That works for me. So, you know, so for some people, maybe what they eat, they might need to change it. But if you're looking to run a sub 4 hour marathon in your first ever marathon, that will be a fantastic achievement. But for me, I do feel a lot of those things, you don't need to do that really, you know. So I'll just go through some of the training that I've done for marathon, half marathon. Obviously, I started off doing a half marathon and then stepped up to do a marathon. So in terms of how I started, at the young age of 54, signed up for my first half marathon, organised by the Great Run series, the ones who do the Great North Run or whatever. So I signed up for the Birmingham half marathon, and on their website had a link, training plan, and it was free. So I clicked on it, keyed in the date of my race, and said I was a beginner, and said when I would do my long run. So, and then in that plan, it explained in terms of going for runs, and it was all about time, not distance, time. Run for 5 minutes, run for 10 minutes, run for 15 minutes. You have to remember that this plan is geared for beginners like I was, yeah? Not for someone who's advanced or is super fit or can do this or that. For me, just running for 3 minutes was a struggle, yeah? Seriously, running for 3 minutes was a real struggle. So it took me a time to progress up to that. One of the things I positively did not have or do, I did not have a Garmin. I had no Garmin. I definitely wasn't on Strava. Yeah, didn't have any Stravas. So according to some people, those runs didn't count. Yeah, well, actually they did. Right, so it doesn't. You don't need the gadgets and gear as a beginner runner. You don't need any of that. Yeah, what you do need is a lot of determination and hard work. Now, I did not do another thing that I didn't do, and I think the guy was being slated for, and he was quite right saying that. As a beginner, I never done any hill sprints. I didn't do any tempo runs. I didn't do any of these sprints. None of that. I just went out 3 times a week. Three, however you want to put it. 3 times a week running. Yeah, and I'd be on a Tuesday, Thursday, and either Saturday or Sunday, yeah? And then on the Saturday or Sunday, it'd be one long run, and it'd progressively get a little bit longer. And I think for my half marathon, I then stepped up my longest long run. I think it was about an hour and a half. Yeah, so whatever kilometres that was, I'm running on time. Remember, the training runs are based on time. For me, as a beginner, that was my plan. And I tweaked it a little. And so, as I said, I've just done 3 runs a week. I did not run every day, right? Now, for me, I didn't see the need for it. So I did do other training, which leads me on to some of the other myths and tips. So I thought I'd join a gym and I would do a bit of other types of training, cross-training, try something new. So I took up a yoga class. Once a week, I took up a yoga class as part of my marathon training, and then also I would do some spin classes, cycle spin, and loved those. Good fun, great sweat, building up the heart rate. So I would do that once or maybe twice a week. So that was it. Yoga once a week, spin class once or twice a week, and 3 runs a week. And the 2 runs were pretty short, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I think sometimes maybe up to 45 minutes, but at tops 40 minutes, and just keep the body ticking over. And that worked for me. Now, it may not work for you and it may not work for other people, but I do believe and I do agree, as I say, with some of the points that are out there from your Sage Canadays and all the other vloggers that are putting out there is a lot of BS out there and some myths. And really, as a beginner, you got to look at it as a beginner. What do we look to achieve? Are we looking to get a fast time? And or are we looking just to finish it? Those are the 2 key questions. And yeah, if you're looking for a fast time, it ain't going to happen overnight. I often talk about the 16-week training plan or the 16-year training plan. When you're looking at elites like your Mo Farahs, Eliud Kipchoge, Paula Radcliffe, these people have been running. When they get the world records, they've been running for 16 years. Almost a minimum 16 years. That's how these guys get so fast. They don't do it on a 16-week training plan. If you start training now, it's January, by April, it'd be great the training is there to help us to enjoy the race. The marathon distance is a long way. 26.2 miles is a long way. And I don't want to sugarcoat it or anything, but there's going to be some points during that 26.2 miles where it's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to really hurt, but it really depends on how much training and how the training has gone for you, how it's progressed, because we're all built differently. And a little thing that I want you to take away from this is that we are all different. We're all built differently. A lot of people say, oh, I'm built to be a runner. I may be built to be a runner, but I still need to do the training to train and run as a runner. And so there's things out there in terms of people's sizes and all that, and really it's not that relevant. I've seen people of all shapes and sizes run some great times, but when you start running at, say, the 3 hour or 2.5 hours or 2 hours 15, a friend of mine said, the BMI, which is body mass index, is more essential there to run those kinds of times. But as a beginner, we can be all sorts of shapes and sizes, running some great times, but are we going to go to the elite pieces? That's a completely different debate. So hopefully that's helped dispel some of the marathon myths and tips that are out there. So I might do a vlog covering some of those things that I talked about earlier, where people talk about negative splits, recovery runs, running every day, changing your nutrition and how that'll help you boost you. and I don't really know what how much relevance, if you're looking at as a beginner just to finish the race, are a lot of these really needed? Tell me, if you've done your first marathon and completed it, I'd love to hear what training plan you followed or what training plan you're following. If you're going to do your first marathon this spring, I'd love to hear from you if you're following any particular plan. It is important to follow a training plan because, as often is said, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Yeah, that's not my quote, that's from somewhere else, but you get the message. Yeah, it's about training consistently and persistently, and depending on what our level of fitness is right now, if you're a beginner right now, in 16 weeks time, however many weeks it is to your spring marathon, we can run the best that we can and enjoy it as much as we can. So, because it is all about the enjoyment, isn't it? Or challenge, whatever it may be for us. We all run for different reasons. And as I say, caveating to the beginning, some of us may be running just for times. Some of us may be running just to finish. Some of us will be running for charities, for our own, in terms of challenge to see how good we can be. But whatever reason, whatever you are, I hope you found this informative. Give it a thumbs up, leave some positive comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And what are your plans? What are you going to be progressing on? Hopefully you found this useful and maybe slightly entertaining. If not, I might do some more dancing or tea drinking in another vlog coming to you. But right now I'm going to have a little jig, and thank you all for watching. And maybe we can all have a sing along and dance together. So wherever you are, whatever you do, keep Did I hear you say the wrong word? Running, yeah! Thank you.